Hello students, welcome to the Learning Management System organized by Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Government of Karnataka. Today I am going to take a session number 5 on the second unit of this called Specifications of the Subject Estimation and Costing for 5th semester Civil Engineering students. In the first two sessions, we had discussed in detail regarding the what is specifications and how to create specification for different activities in a building. And in session 3 and session 4, my colleague has discussed with you regarding how to create specification for the activities like wooden work, wooden doors and windows, painting works and shuttering works. Today in this session, I am covering the following contents. The session starts with bill of quantities, followed by its uses and objectives, and about quantity surveying and schedule of rates, and I am going to show you a BOQ sheet that will be used in the industry, and that is the output of this 5 sessions, 4 sessions or 5 sessions, and followed by a MCQ test. So what is bill of quantities? A bill of quantities, it's called as a schedule. It is nothing but a tabular column where the categories such as the detailed specification of the item, the quantities, that is the total quantity of that item in the building will be measured by the engineer, and it will be written in that particular tabular column, the quantities, and also what is the rate that is analyzed, an analyzed rate to execute the project. So these 3 aspects will be there in the bill of quantities. That is, in bill of quantities there will be detailed specification for the item. The item will be starting from marking of a building to earthwork, masonry, building, concrete, up to the finishing of the project. What are all the items are there? They will be specified in the tabular column, and adjacent to that column the unit of measurement and the detailed quantities of item will be measured, and the items will be written in that specific tabular column. And also what is the rate that is required to execute that item will also be specified. BOQ, we can call it as a very important document for a site engineer or any engineer who is involved in a construction project. Right now you are in 5th semester. By another 6 months or 1 year you will be an engineer. So engineer means there are various professions. After you are going to complete the diploma, you will be a site engineer. Site engineer means the engineer who is working in site for execution of the work. You may be a planning engineer. Planning engineer means you are going to prepare the estimates and you are planning the materials to the site. You may be a draftsman. Draftsman means you are going to prepare the drawings using AutoCAD software. So there are some other professions, quality control, quality assurance. So this bill of quantities should be thoroughly understood by all the engineers who are involved in a project. It's starting from building engineer to up to the project management of this project. All the professional bodies should carefully study this BOQ, and you have to understand each and every item about the material, the make, and the methodology to execute the work. There are 2 phases in any kind of project, that is pre-construction and post-construction and during construction, 3 stages. Pre-construction means before construction you have to prepare the drawings, you have to float the tender, and you have to award the contract. So In this process, till the awarding of contract, the bill of quantities becomes a very important document for the contractor to quote the rates and to understand the work. And during construction also, the engineers and supervisors will be referring this document to execute the job. And after construction also, there will be audits to the building whether the work has been executed as per norms. There also the works will be checked with respect to this bill of quantities. So bill of quantities is a order list of materials, labor and services necessary to complete a given project. In bill of quantities, the every items of the building will be in a very sequential order, which provides a necessary information for the engineers. The major uses of BOQ are, even when you are going to study the BOQ, you will get a real-time imagination of the how the project has to be done, based on the quantities you can guess the time period required to complete this project, and you are going to get a general idea about the work, about the type of machineries that has to be procured, and general quantity of labors or manpower that should be involved in this project. And also you are going to get what will be the sum of the project, what will be the project sum, and what will be the budget for this project will also be obtained by this bill of quantity, because in bill of quantities there will be quantities and rate. The quantity multiplied by rate will give the amount, and when all the amount of all the activities already, you are going to get the total project cost. And the main thing is it will guide the supervisors or staff to execute the project. As I told in the earlier slides also, earlier sessions, when you are going to site as an engineer, at the initial days you will be supervised by a senior engineer. As in time passes, you have to execute the jobs independently. You have to handle the labors, you have to handle the unskilled labors who are uneducated, and you have to get the job done from them. In order to get the job from them, you have to thoroughly understand the specification of the item and methodology of the item, and you have to execute the job. You have to plan the job. If you are going to execute the job tomorrow, then yesterday itself you have to completely understand the BOQ or the specification, and you have to plan the materials, plan the labors according to it, and you have to execute the job. And BOQ provides a base for bidding of contract. So when it may be government projects or private projects, you can see in the newspaper there will be a small article, Karyapalaka Abhiyantararu Tender Prakatane. You have seen this in the Kannada newspaper. In the English newspapers you will be seeing e-tendering or e-procurement. This portal is dedicated only for contracting, for awarding a contract to a specific person for specific job. So in that website also, for that particular project, the bill of quantities will be attached. The contractor is going to study the bill of quantities, and he is going to visit the site before the construction or before the bidding. Then he is clearly understanding the quantum of work that is involved and the difficulties he is involved. Then he is going to prepare or analyze the rates. Then he is going to bid for the contract. So these are the major uses of BOQ. And also material schedule and labor schedule and construction schedules are prepared based on this BOQ. Material schedule means the quantity of material required. Say for example, a project will be a 200 crore or 300 project. It runs for 3 years. So a project can't be completed by a single day. It may take 6 months, 1 year. So you need to plan the quantity of materials that are required ahead of the construction project in order to not delay the project. Means Whatever the quantities that is required, maybe aggregates or cement required for next week, it should be available today. Then only the work will be going to happen very smoothly. There will be no delays in the project. So for preparing those type of schedules, BOQ is a forms a major base. These are the uses of BOQ. And coming to objectives, it is going to provide sufficient information on quantities of works. A priced bill of quantities will be provided for periodic valuation of work executed. If a project is around 200 crore, which has to be finished by 2 years, every year at least there will be a billing of 10 crores. Say for example, if there is 20 months, if it is going to finish the project, if it is a 200 crore project, then every month they have to arrange 10 crores of value will be done. So these type of arrangement of money can also be done based on the BOQ, based on the activities. Say for example, in the initial days the activities will be earthwork, PCC, footing concrete and filling. So structural works will be there. So pertaining to that item, what is the amount that is required for this month? This type of planning could be done by studying this BOQ. And also BOQ distinguish between different classes of works of same nature carried out in different locations. So there may be a project which is running in Bangalore and there will be a project which is running in Mangalore. So the locations are different and the availability of materials are different and the availability of labors are different. So these things could be arranged properly by studying the BOQ. And in the previous slides I had told you that pertaining to that item there will be unit of measurement, whether it is measured in cubic meter or square meter, and in the next column there will be quantities, how much quantity of earthwork will be there for this excavation, how much quantity of PCC will be there in this excavation. So these things will be done by quantity surveying. There is a professional engineer called quantity surveyor. His job is only to estimate the quantities for a building. So this quantity surveying is required to prepare the quantities to complete the document. The estimation of quantities is required, and also the quantity surveyor makes a feasibility study, and also he prepares the annual budget, means how much cost this building is going to be if I am going to make a item rate contract. This budget will be the base for deciding whether to proceed with the contract or not to proceed with the contract. Say for example, in the last 2 years or 3 years, there was a project called steel flyover in Bangalore, construction of structural steel. After estimation, it was around 10,000 odd crores, and the project was cancelled because of the amount was little huge. So before making a project, whether it is feasible or not, you should know the budget, whether that amount could be supplied by the government or not. So then the government will take a call whether to proceed with that or not. So to arrive at the budget, first you need to measure the quantities. The bill of quantities is included in the bidding documents. Bidding documents is nothing but the documents which are required for a contractor to bid. Means if a government project is awarded to a contractor, there are certain documents that will be submitted to him from the executive engineer office. It may be the drawings, it will be specifications, it will be bill of quantities, and the last date of tender and the start date of tender and the notice inviting tenders. All those documents will be given to the contractor. This bill of quantities is also one document which is very important document in that bidding document. The bidders, as I told earlier, they will use this bill of quantities to check how much quantities of work is there. Say for example, if there is one item called a reinforced cement concrete, if it is 100 cubic meters of concrete, then he can imagine about the number of days that is required. If per day if he is going to complete 5 cubic meters, for how much days the project would run, and where he has to take the concrete, whether in a batching plant or whether he has to do the site mix, how much margin he is going to get, and based on the drawings and comparing the estimate to the drawings, these things can be clearly analyzed only after quantity surveying. This quantity surveying is done for a building. Usually we are going to carry out by two methods. In the next unit is you are going to learn central line method and long wall short wall method, how to calculate each and every individual item. Schedule of rates. We have completed the specification part and we have completed the quantity part. Specification in detail you have learnt from the last 5 sessions. Unit of measurement, you know, for each and every item what is the unit of measurement. And coming to quantities, you are going to check the length, breadth and depth of each and individual item. You are going to prepare quantities. And in the one more column, there is one more type of description called rates. Means we have to fix the rates per cubic meter or per square meter, per unit of measurement. If it is RCC and earthwork, it will be measured in cubic meter and rate will be analyzed to it based on per cubic meter. If the plastering item is there or wall within thickness of less than 10 centimeter, it will be prepared in square meter, and what is the rate that is going to occur for square meter including contractor's profit. So the rates has to be analyzed. These rates are going to change every year, because every year the rates of cement is going to change, the rate of aggregates is going to change, rate of petrol is going to change because transportation of materials, and rate of manpower is going to change, the labor rates are also going to change. So this rates has to be analyzed before quoting a bid. When a contractor for awarding a tender has to bid for each and individual item, and before bidding he is going to analyze the rate. What is the rate that is going to occur for executing this item per cubic meter or per square meter. This schedule of rates, that document is called as schedule of. That preparation of process is called analysis of rates. And there is one document which will be released every year by Karnataka Public Works Department and every 2 years by Central Government of Public Works Department. There all the rates of the different items will be given by them by analyzing the present rates. So it is prepared by the public bodies such as Central Public Works and state governments. And if it is a private project, this rates of the government differs from the private construction companies, because there will be more competition in the private construction companies. Schedule of rates is prepared for all type of work, that is civil works, it may be electrical works and plumbing works and mechanical works. All the works rates will be finalized. Usually they are going to set up a panel consisting of chief engineer, executive engineer or a research fellow. All these 4 to 5 people are going to sit and they are going to prepare with a team. They are going to prepare the rates for the individual item, and then they are going to publish in the Public Works Department, and all the contractors will be bidding the contract based on these rates. The basic objective of scheduling these rates is it is going to help for preparing the estimate. To arrive onto the total cost of the project, you need to carry out the estimation. After that, this estimate has to be multiplied by the rate, will give you the total project value. In government tenders, usually in the government tenders they will ask for how much percentage you are going to leave from the SR rate. Say for example, if the SR rate for earthwork execution is 300 rupees, you are going to say 2%. I am going to leave 2%. 2% means for 300 rupees you are going to execute the job in 294 rupees. Okay. If you are going to leave 20%, I am going to execute this job below 20%. Below 20% means you are going to do the job by 240 rupees. If the standard schedule of rate is 300, you are going to execute the job below 20% means 240 rupees. So in this manner, the schedule of rate will be helping for quoting the government tenders, and also the schedule of rates will be revised as and when the market rates will be jumping, and for every year usually we will change. In for private projects, every project there will be revision of rates by different companies, and also there is one chance called amendment. Suddenly when the steel prices drops or steel prices hikes, contractor will ask for the amendment of the rates because the steel rates are jumping. And also, in order to avoid all those conflicts, usually in the specification you have to specify the basic rate. Say for example, if reinforcement item has to be executed, bar bending, then you are going to specify that basic rate of the steel would be 45,000 per ton. Means when he is going to purchase 1 ton of steel in the shop, it is 45,000. If it has jumped by 5,000, it will be 50,000. Then obviously simultaneously the rates of the item will also be changed. So this is a sample sheet of PWD schedule rate of Karnataka. So like this, for all the civil items or electrical items and plumbing items, this format will be used. Here the left first column, it is called a serial number. The serial number is important, and there will be detailed description of the item. Earthwork in surface excavation in ordinary soil for leveling and lowering the ground manually, and removing the excavated stuff to a distance, like the detailed specification will be there. And in the next column there will be unit of measurement, cubic meter, and rate per cubic meter. So he is saying for executing this job, the present rate is 185 rupees per cubic meter. So contractors can bid, I am going to execute this job below 10%. 10% means he is going to leave 10% of 185, that is around 10 or 20 rupees, it will be minus 160 rupees he is going to execute approximately. So it happens like that. A sample BOQ sheet that will be used in the industry. In the last 4 sessions you have learnt in detail how to create a specification in a very elaborated manner, and that elaborated discussion or elaborated specification will be compressed and will be used like this in the industry. First one is earthwork in foundation. See, the specification says earthwork in foundation in all types of soils for walls, column, footing, steps to required depths as per drawing, including shoring. Means when the sides is going to collapse, you have to do shoring, including strutting, and including pumping of water. Means when the water table is higher, you are going to encounter water in the pit. Even the removal of water is also in your scope, and also to keep the excavation clear of water wherever necessary, and backfilling, and also after the foundation is completed, earth filling is also in the scope of this. And the foundation, the earth will be filled in the layers not exceeding 150 mm. That is the thickness of each layer. When you are going to fill back the soil, it should be 150 mm. It has to be watered, it has to be rammed, so that future settlements will not be there. And also disclosing the extra earth to up to 200 meters. Means whatever the earth that will be extra, which has to be disposed of, that will be also in the specification. So in this manner you are going to create a specification. By studying this, an engineer can understand what are the roles and responsibilities while executing the earthwork job. Here in the picture you can see a excavator is excavating, he is encountering rock. See, in the specification he told all type of soils, but here he is going to encounter rock. So for rock there should be another specification, because rock cannot be excavated by an excavator, it has to be demolished, it should be by a compressor, or it has to be blasted by controlled blasting. So coming to concrete works, the bed concrete, you can see in the picture, the bed concrete is laid for receiving the footing, providing and laying PCC of, see, first he is mentioning the proportion 1:4:8, and also is specifying the aggregate size 40 mm and down. 40 mm down means 40 mm within the size of 40 mm graded granite stone aggregates including, and next is going to say how to mix mesh including machine mixing, so no hand mixing should be done, and tamping, curing and shuttering. See, side shuttering is in the scope, and also tamping means you have to compact it. You are going to not vibrate, use the vibrator since it is a 40 mm down size aggregate, and curing is also 7 to 10 days curing should be done, and shuttering etc. for below foundation, column, footing and side stone. See, here he is going to say that the concrete work which has been done only below this will be this item, and per cubic meter what is the total quantity for this building and what is the rate. Quantity multiplied by rate will give the amount. Say for example, if quantity is 100 cubic meter, rate is 2000 rupees, so then 2 lakh rupees will be the total amount. So this is a RCC item, reinforced cement concrete. In this picture you can see boom pressure concreting is being done, where here there is a pump. The transit mixer is pouring the concrete into this pump receiver, and it is being pumped here to a slab. Since it consists of steel, it is called as reinforced cement concrete. So providing and laying reinforced cement concrete of respective proportions. He is not specifying any proportion as specified by the engineer, using 20 mm down size aggregate. See, the aggregate size should be within 20 mm, and it includes mixing. Mixing is yours, laying of concrete, tamping, vibrating. He is saying vibrating for this you have to use 60 mm needle vibrator, and centering and shuttering. See, the props, the spans and the plywood and aluminium plates and shuttering is also included, excluding steel reinforcement. So steel will be paid in the next item. So this is the specification for reinforced cement concrete. The total quantity of RCC multiplied by the rate will give the amount. And coming to steel works, you can see he is going to say the fabrication and placing of the steel of various diameter. It may be starting from 10 mm up to 32 to 40 mm. For a different type of project, different steel will be used, and it has to be Fe415. The yield stress of steel should be F415, and also it has to conform to IS 1786, and including transportation, strengthening, cutting, bending and welding, all is going to say hooking, and also tying the rods. It's not tying the rods with binding wire at all floors. Means he is going to say even if you are going to tie it for 20th floor, the rate will be same. And then he is mentioning, see, in the earlier slide I told you, in order to avoid the conflict, we are going to give the basic rate. He is going to say that if you are going to purchase the steel in the shop, the basic rate of steel will be 40,000 per metric ton. And then masonry, providing and constructing size stone masonry. These are size stone masonry. See, this is called as the bond stone. I told in the earlier slide. For every 1 meter or 1.5 to 2 meter gap, one bond stone will be laid for increasing the bonding. So providing and constructing size stone masonry in foundation, only foundation and plinth, using stones. And what is the proportion of cement mortar? 1:6. That is 1 part of cement and 6 part of sand. Edges of stone will be dressed, and also the height of the core should not be more than 200 mm. So this is the specification for size stone masonry. Next is brick masonry. So brick masonry means you are going to construct brick. This is called 1 brick thick wall. See, this is 1 brick thick of length 230 mm. Table molded means the edges will be sharp. It should be of standard size, and the brick will be constructed in cement mortar 1:3. And what should be the minimum strength? He is asking 35 kg per square centimeter. For first class it is 105 kg per square centimeter, including necessary scaffolding and curing. Only two extra additions is there for specification: scaffolding and curing. Scaffolding is required to build the wall at higher heights. Curing is required for compensation rate of hydration reaction. And coming to floor finishes, when you are going to put vitrified tile flooring, so providing an installation of vitrified tiles in flooring of size 600 mm square in floor, that is the, what is the tile square, tile size 600 mm by 600 mm, and what is the thickness of the bed, 1 inch 25 mm, what is the mortar proportion, 1:6, what is the pattern, what is the gap, we have to maintain 2 to 3 mm between the tile to tile joints, and the joints will be filled with white cement including coloring pigments, that is shade of the tile. If it is grey color, you are going to use grey color cement. And also including cutting means when the room is ending you have to provide cut pieces, and also curing will be done for 7 days. So all the detailed specifications are compressed and written in this description item. And coming to plastering, I am going to plaster the internal wall. This is wall plastering. First buttons fixing will be done. The proportion is 1:4, and the thickness, what should be the thickness, maximum thickness 50 mm thick. If you are going to do more than 15 mm, the contractor will lose his money. And after application of plastering, using a thin coat of lime will be applied. Here also scaffolding and curing will be there in the specification. For 10 days it has to be wetted, and also for higher height scaffolding should be used. Doors. In doors it is specifying providing and fixing 3 inches by 9 inches teakwood frame with 32 mm thick teakwood rails, 25 mm thick teakwood plank shutter including necessary hardware. So he is mentioning including hardware also. Hardware means your handles, your tower boards, your door stoppers, all are inclusive. So this is the specification for door item. And painting works, providing painting 2 coats of premium emulsion. He is going to specify the make. Premium emulsion over 1 coat of primer including necessary scaffolding, cleaning of paint stains wherever necessary, and first primer plus first coat, and putty and second coat of paint. Means first you are going to apply the primer, again 1 coat of paint, putty is applied for making the surface even and smooth, again 1 more coat of paint will be applied, again 1 more coat of putty, and again 1 more coat of paint. So 2 coats of putty, 2 coats of paint we have to do with a base primer, and it is the make premier emulsion. So this will avoid the complete confusions between the owner and the contractor, as the specification in detail is there. Painting is measured in square meters. So these are the different items that are involved, and how to, what is the bill of quantities. This table is called as BOQ table, and you understood about the description, you understood about the units, you understood about how to check the quantity surveying. So in this session you had a brief detail about what is BOQ, its users and objectives, what is schedule of rates, the rates, analysis of rates that will be done by government bodies or private bodies every annual or for every project, and also quantity surveying, how to estimate each and every item, and how to compress the specification into this description table such that all the things are very clearer about the make, proportion, thickness, and also the curing of structures, scaffolding, everything has to be included. Now let us take one small multiple choice question test. First question is a bill of quantities that will include the following. So whether it includes interest, whether it includes tax rate, whether it includes unit of measure, or whether it includes bidder names. So the bill of quantities will include only the unit of measure. So these things will not be there in the BOQ. Unit of measure means whether it is in cubic meter or square meter or meter or numbers. So pick up the wrong statement from these four options. BOQ shall be used in every phase, that is pre-contract and post-contract. In order to produce the bill of quantities, a detailed quantity has to be completed. Bill of quantities that doesn't give specification. BOQ provides sufficient information on the quantities. So which is the wrong statement. Option C is the wrong statement. Bill of quantity definitely gives specifications. Here it is saying it doesn't give. BOQ is majorly meant for specification of the item. Details of the item will be given. Proportion will be given. The next question. The engineer who estimates the quantities of all the items involved in a construction project is called A. Quantity surveyor, B. Site engineer, C. Structural engineer, and D. Draftsman. The correct answer is option A. Quantity surveyor. Quantity surveying, one who does the quantity surveying is called as quantity surveyor. He is a civil engineer. Which material is used to fill the joints between vitrified tiles? A. Concrete, B. Cement slurry, C. White cement with coloring pigment, and D. All of the above. The right answer is option C. You are going to fill it with white cement with the color matching the shade of the tile. Next, fifth question. What is the unit of measurement for door frames? A. Square meter, C. Meter, B. Cubic meter, and D. None of the above. The right option is B. Cubic meter. You are going to procure the frames in cubic meter. Shutters may be calculated in square meters. What is the minimum compressive strength of bricks that has to be used in common buildings? A. 10 kg per square centimeter, B. 35 kg per square centimeter, C. 20 kg per square centimeter, and D. None of the above. The right answer is B. 35 kg per square centimeter. That is the minimum. And if you are going to use class 1 bricks, it will be 105 kg per square centimeter. So question number 7. Scheduler of rates helps in preparing A. Estimate, C. Cost of materials, B. Specification, D. All of the above. The right answer is D. In schedule of rates helps in preparing estimate, specification, and cost of materials, and all of the above. There will be specification in this, and also for estimation details, and for preparing the cost of materials is already there in that schedule of rates. So pick up the correct statement. Option A. Schedule of rates helps in deciding the rate of an extra item carried out by the contractor. Schedule of rate provides the total amount of the project. Schedule of rate provides the specification of the item. Schedule of rate helps in bidding for a project. The right answer is option D. SOR helps in bidding for a project majorly. And I thank you one and all. Thanks.